It's Saturday night on CBTV. Always having a dance. It's Saturday night here on CBTV. Tonight, we've got further updates with our fabulous Thomas. We've got a bit of a quiz for you and the brilliant Asa Murphy in Cabaret. Hello.
Turned on, is it?
Say again?
Your original sound's not turned on in the top corner, is it?
Yes. Tis now.
Yeah.
I need to save it, don't I? Because it's that new one. There we go. It's done. Saved. And we're also on the big screens as well. I can hear it in the background here in the club.
I found that so distracting. I was sat next to you last week, and because for those of you who don't know, Jem is in the dressing room, and in front of the dressing room is the main stage in the main room at Claret, and we've got a massive PA system, and we was putting a live feed into the whole building, and there's about a 5, 6, 7 second delay. So when we were talking, we could hear ourselves coming back through the main room sort of 7 seconds later. In the end, I had to put headphones on. I just couldn't do it. I threw the towel in. I was about to chuck my toys out the pram and go, I'm not doing this. I'm going back home to do it. Which is where I am tonight.
I've got to say, Thomas, I do like your look tonight. You look very like coiffed tonight. Have you been to the hairdressers today?
I've been to the barbers today. I've had the full works. Joanna does my eyebrows. Joanna's got a waxing pot, and Joanna does do my eyebrows. Yeah, I do like to. Yeah, I'm a bit partial to a bit of male grooming. You know, it's
you look very neat. It looks very neat, doesn't it? Really.
It's well, thank you very much. Yeah. So yeah, I thought I'd come on and give a few little updates and just go through a few things. And I'm also going to try doing a little experiment towards the end as well. And it's either going to go fantastically well or it's going to go horribly wrong. There'll be no in between. Okay. But I should have been doing it up there tonight, but I can't go up the club tonight because I've got the two little ones in the next room and Joanna's in the kitchen. So I've got to do the experiment from here. But I'll tell you more about that later.
Ooh,
so yeah, you're intrigued. Yeah. Okay. So let's start with the swimming pool. It seems to be the hot topic of conversation throughout all of the parks, and it's been, what has it been, just over a week now since we reopened the pools. And I've got to say, on the whole, it's been a really good thing, and we have had a lot of positive feedback. And I was speaking to a couple today. I was walking past the pool in Claret, I had to pop in to have a chat with Theon, who looks after the pool, and there's a couple in there, and she said, do you know what? She said, this is the first time we've ever used a swimming pool because we don't like coming in here when it's full of other people. And I get that. And talking to some of the other parks, they've said the same thing. Families are saying they actually do like the fact that they get the pool to themselves. And it's been a bit of a learning curve for us because we've had to alter the system slightly at each park to suit the way in which that park operates. I think I mentioned that briefly when I spoke about it last week. So what we're doing now with immediate effect is on our larger parks, for example, Park Farm up in the north and where we're based now in Claret here in Mid Wales, we're having to reduce the time slots to 20 minutes. And the reason we're having to do that, as you can imagine, is to try and fulfill the demand because we're having a lot of people who are disappointed, and I understand that. But trust me, we are doing our absolute utmost and our very best to get as many people in and out the pool as we possibly can whilst staying fully within the guidelines. And if we were to open the pool to all and sundry and let different families and different households and different caravans and chalets just use it like you normally would, we as a company would not be able to ensure the social distancing requirements that are in place for swimming pools. So the only way to get around that, and this is in the guidance, and we're looking at the Swim Wales, it's RTW, Return to Water guidance, and the only way you can open a swimming pool without any form of social distancing is if you have members from the same household in there. Now, some people are saying, well, I've formed a bubble with this group and that group and this group. the guidelines mentions household, not bubble, so we're sticking with households for now. But it is a question that we've asked the Welsh Government, and as soon as they come back to us, we will do. But ultimately, it's not going to change much because we can only allow a maximum of 8 persons per session in any case because of the guidelines. So at the moment, we are doing it on a household by household basis. So that takes care of that. The other thing as well is there are some people, and only a few of them, minority, who are getting frustrated they can't get a time slot, and they're taking that frustration out on the staff, on the office staff. And I've got to say, that has got to stop immediately, because all of our staff are doing their absolute utmost and their very, very best to try and accommodate our guests under very difficult circumstances. And the last thing we need are people moaning and shouting at them because they can't get a slot for the swimming pool. I mean, come on, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. There are other things for us to worry about. And if you're going to chuck your toys out the pram because you can't get a slot in the swimming pool at the time you want to, then I don't really know what to say. But please don't take the frustration out on the staff. And the other thing as well, we're having people emailing us saying, can we book appointments? Or they're emailing sort of questioning the guidance. And I've got to be honest, and I've got to be straightforward, and we've instructed our teams not to respond to those emails any further, because there's nothing else to say. You know, you've got to book an appointment. The appointment needs to be done on the day. You get a time slot. It's as simple as that. If we can't offer you a time slot, we can't offer you a time slot. There's nothing else to say. Can you see what I'm saying, guys? There's nothing else we can do, unfortunately. We are trying our best. And like I said last week, there's a lot of holiday parks in this area. I think there's one not so very far from where we're sitting now, where the swimming pool's not even open. So, you know, just bear with us, and I'm sure things will be back to normal very soon. But please, I've got to reiterate this, please do not take it out on our staff, because that is not fair. They don't deserve that. Yeah.
I'd struggle with 20 minutes, Thomas. I'd struggle with 20 minutes because my budgie smugglers, you know, they're like, they cling to your legs and you can't get, like, when you got fat legs, you can't get them, your legs out, your budgie smugglers.
Well, that's actually a good point. So we do ask that you come to the pool swim ready. In other words, come with your gear on and just chuck a tracksuit or something over the top. And as part of these guidelines, we can't open the changing rooms. And I know that people are going to say, well, the clubs are open, the toilets are open in the club. And my answer to that is, I totally agree, but I'm not Mark Drakeford. I'm not part of the Welsh Government. I don't make the rules. We can only go by the guidelines that are published. And like I've said before, we're going to make sure that we stick to those guidelines rigidly, because we don't want to jeopardise anybody's health and safety. And we don't want to sort of make a silly mistake and slip up and end up being asked to close, you know. So we're making sure that we're all taking this very, very seriously. And I've got to say, 99.9% of our customers are on board with this, and they've followed the social distancing, they've adhered to the guidelines that are in place, and it's made our lives a lot easier. But, you know, in all walks of life, in all corners of the world, you always get that very, 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 very small minority that make things a lot more difficult than what they need to be. But on the whole, it's fantastic. And as we go along, boys, I'm happy to take any questions before I move on to the next topic, or, you know, just interrupt me and just ask me the question, which I can't see the questions. You've got them in front of you, I believe, Jem.
Yeah, there's nothing come through yet, apart from Perry Cooper says, please don't mention bubbles in pools.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I suppose it's okay in a hot tub or jacuzzi, isn't it? But there you go. But yeah.
just while we wait and see if any questions do come in, I will. There's one. It's the first one we had, and we've got someone on site that's lost their cat here at Clarick.
These are these are actually my neighbours, and the cat's name's Cooper, and I believe Cooper's 7 years of age. He's ginger.
Yeah.
And I think he's ginger and fluffy, and he's been missing now for about 4 or 5 days maybe. And from what we've been told by the owners of the cat, is that Cooper is usually, he's very domesticated, and he's not really used to being outside in the big wide open world. So the little boy whose cat it is, he's absolutely distraught, and we've got to try and find this cat. And I know my kids, when we've been out up and down in the park, they keep calling Cooper, and I've heard loads of people calling his name. So if you do see a big fluffy ginger cat, and then he said something else then, but I thought, yeah. Yeah.
He is tagged. He's got a chip. He's chipped.
He's chipped, is he?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've got. So, do you know, I'm sure with cats sometimes they just want to have a little break for a few days and come back, don't they?
No, this is a true story. We had a cat, and it went out, and it came back about 6 years later. Seriously, Jason the cat.
Do you know if Cooper's owners are watching this program? That's probably a story I'd have kept to myself. To be fair, Jim. But
it was a different time then. It was the 80s.
It was acceptable.
I told you the story about the owners on Park, didn't I?
That's funny.
I told this the other week. There's a couple on Park, and they came down at the beginning of the season. Then, of course, when you went into lockdown and they had to go back home, he said we went home. He said when we got home, he said there was a stray cat outside the front door. He said I kept saying shoo, shoo. He said anyway, it wouldn't go. He said and, the next door neighbours kept feeding it. He said after about 2 weeks, I said to the missus, I've had enough of this. I'm going to take him down the vets. He said when I took him down the vets, he was chipped. He said, and when they read his chip, he was from Claret Bay. He got in the car and they took him home.
The cat was from. They took the cat home.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, the cat's either climbed under the car into like the engine compartment and he's in there while they've driven home. Because the guy said, I didn't see him in the car. And I said, God, it's a wonder he didn't get killed.
He's not one of these illegal immigrants, isn't he?
Catnappers they are.
Catnappers. Yeah. Well, okay. So yeah, let's try and keep an eye out for Cooper. We've mentioned the swimming pool. Like I said, if any questions come in, boys, just ask me them. The next thing I want to move on to. So for our guest at Park Farm, you've already got this up and running, but I just want to mention it because I'm really impressed with this. So any of our venues you go into, when you hear the music play or you see the bingo or the quizzes or any of the game shows, we use a system called Jigsaw System, which in effect is a PC-based system for entertainment. And it's developed by a company in Hull called NRM, who are fantastic. They do a lot of the technology in all of the major bingo halls and everything. But for the holiday park industry, we helped them develop this solution about 5 years ago. And it's now in all of the major parks across the country, from ourselves right through to the big boys like Parkdean Resorts. So one of the things which they've launched this year, and it's up and running in Park Farm, and within the next 10 days, we should have it rolled out across the entire estate. I think next on the list, Monday, is going to be Claret. They've actually got an app, a Jigsaw app. So if you go to the App Store or you go to the Play Store, all you need to do is you need to search for Jigsaw Interactive.
Do you want me to share?
Yeah, please do. So look, you can see that. So you search for Jigsaw Interactive, and then the great thing about this is when you're in one of our venues, when you search for Wi-Fi networks, you will see a Wi-Fi network called Jigsaw Interactive. It will ask you for a password. The password you can see there is all joined up in lowercase, Jigsaw Interactive. And what that does, it connects your smartphone to our Jigsaw system in the club. Now, the benefit of that is this. Firstly, if there's a song you want to hear, you can request it straight through the Jigsaw app. So there's thousands of songs to choose from. If there's a karaoke song, when we're allowed to introduce entertainment, you can put your karaoke request in there as well. If it's your birthday or you want to put a message out on the screen, you can send us a message. Obviously, we've got to authorise it first because no doubt there'll be people like Perry, I would imagine, who will be putting all sorts on there. So it does get vetted by us. But the main thing is you can, if you want to wish Auntie Doris a happy birthday, you can type it in. It will eventually appear on the screen. You can even send us photographs as well. The other thing which is really intriguing about this, and it's something which we've done for a while now, is linked quizzes. So whereby we join up all of our parks and do a linked quiz. Usually for that to happen, you'd have to have a little fob which we give you, and that fob is a little bit like you see on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Fastest Fingers First. It's got 4 or 6 buttons on there. With this device, with this app, you can actually take part in the linked quiz fully interactively through your smartphone. So it's the next step in our entertainment offering. The next step along the way is we're going to start bringing the odd quiz and the odd linked quiz because it falls within what's acceptable in terms of the current guidelines. So for this to work, we urge everybody to get onto the App Store, to the Play Store, and download Jigsaw Interactive. And you know if it's working or not, because the next time you go into one of our venues, if you can connect, it's working. If you can't, it's not. But like I said, within the next 10 days, 2 weeks maximum, we'll have all this up and running across the entire estate. We've got Jigsaw coming out to see us on Monday, Jem. So hopefully by Monday evening, we should be in a position where this is rolled out across the 2 rooms in Claret Bay.
So, you know, if you want a song and you request a song on that, does he go to like a list and then you have to find it and put it on, or does it automatically put it onto a list?
So it's on a first come, first served basis. So if the three of us are sat down having a pint, I want an Elvis song, Jem wants Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
I knew you were going to go with something like that.
Ian wants I Am What I Am.
He's trying to insinuate something, Ian.
I'm not trying. I'm just chose random songs. The first songs that came into my head. So if I put my song in first, Jem second, you third, that's the way it will queue in that order in the system. So whichever song hits the system first, that's the song it will play. And we're able. Sorry.
Puts it in automatically.
Yeah, puts it in automatically. Yeah. So it's like having a virtual jukebox. So what we can do from our end as the controller of the system, we can limit the amount of songs that each person can request at a time or per night. Because if you're not careful, say for example with karaoke, you're going to have karaoke Dave with about 20 songs, and it's going to be more like a very bad cabaret performance.
Meatloaf.
Yeah, Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell, and Paradise by the Dashboard. Yeah. So it's really good because if you sat there having a few drinks, sometimes you're talking, you're in company, you're talking, you start talking about music, and you go, oh, do you remember that? Isn't that a great song? Or with this, you go, let's bang it on now, let's get it on. And
brilliant.
Yeah,
that's the first time I've heard about that. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it uses sort of an internal wireless network within the club. So it uses sort of high-end equipment by a company called Ubiquity. So we've got like a little 5.4 gigahertz network that goes point to point throughout the whole club. And that's what gives it its connectivity back to the machine. But what they're looking at doing and developing further is to push it out over a wide area network, not a local area network. So in other words, you could be in your caravan because of all the social distancing, and you could take part in the quiz from your caravan or anywhere, even at home really, as long as you've got an internet connection. That's phase 2. But phase 1 is for those of you who are in the building. And I think it's going to be a really good thing.
Yeah, that's great. Just a quick update. The cat has possibly been spotted.
When?
A couple of days ago in the woods behind the vans. So in the woods behind. So they're going to go and have a look. But fingers crossed.
I hope they find it.
That'd be great.
Question. The person who spotted it in the woods behind the van, what were they doing in the woods behind the vans?
I'll let Donna Llewellyn answer that question.
But yeah, if the cat has been spotted in the wood behind the vans, that's fantastic. At least it narrows it down to an area. And that doesn't surprise me because in terms of where the owners of the cat's caravan's located in relation to the woods, that does make sense. So hopefully it's a step in the right direction. So that's the swimming pool covered. That's the jigsaws covered. Got to quickly mention about the big fight tonight. We've got Dillian White versus Povetkin. That's going to be a good fight. I think the main event starts at 10 o'clock. We're showing that across all of our clubs tonight, which is really good.
We're the warm-up act.
Yeah, we're the warm-up act here. Katie Taylor's also fighting as well. Any boxing fan, you'll know Katie Taylor. But she's the girl from Ireland who, if you put her in the ring against men, she would knock professional men boxers out. No worries about it at all. She is that good. She is one of the best boxers. And I love my boxing. I love my mixed martial arts. And Katie Taylor, she's on the bill tonight. And make sure she's the co-main event. She's fighting a girl she's already beaten. It's a rematch. But she is one of the most fluid boxers you'd ever see. She's absolutely brilliant. So that's on tonight. What else have we got? I just want to just veer off away from Vale Holiday Parks for a second, because when I woke up this morning, I like scrolling through. I don't do social media as much these days, but I like to have a little look on Twitter every now and again. And there's a story that I came across, and I've been laughing about it all day long, and it's probably wrong for me to laugh, but hopefully there's going to be some people out there who have got a similar sense of humour to me. So this story is about the president of Brazil, Bolsonaro or something like that. His name is. He's basically a Brazilian version of Donald Trump, if you can imagine such a thing. Or is Donald Trump the American version of him? Anyway, they're very similar. And he was out in one of Brazil's big cities, and he was doing some sort of public appearance. You know, obviously that must be allowed with coronavirus in Brazil. And there's a mixture of people in the crowd. There's women, there's children, there's men, there's everyone in there. And have you ever seen it at one of these sort of gatherings when you've got a dignitary? It's always good for the press if you interact with the children, you know. It's always good if you grab hold of one of the children and pick one of the children up to make it seem that, you know, you're really connecting with the kids. Well, this is exactly what the president of Brazil did a couple of days ago. Only the child he picked up wasn't a child. It wasn't until one of his staff said to him, "Sir, that's not a child, that's a dwarf." He realised that he hadn't actually picked a child up.
Why? You know, in the middle of a COVID thing, why would you pick anybody up?
I don't know. I tell you what. Let's see if have I got permission to share screen. Let's see if I can find a picture of it.
Have 1 second.
Hang on, let's have a look.
I think I've got the video here, Thomas. 2 seconds, Thomas. I think I've got the video.
If you've got it, that's great.
It doesn't look like it's.
Hang on. Which website have you got the video? Which website was it from?
Euro Weekly News, but it's taken a while.
If it's from the Sun newspaper, please don't share anything from the Sun. That's a personal thing from me. But yeah, any other news outlet, if you can share it. But yeah,
it's just trying to load it up now. It's taking a. No, let's do it from you instead.
Let's have a look then, shall we? Sorry.
There you go. Should be able to do it now.
I know I shouldn't. Shall I show? Shall I show the picture?
I'll probably tell you if you hold the picture up. I'll probably tell you which one it is, because I know Sleepy and Dozy.
Careful.
Yeah, you.
I think by the end of this, he was grumpy.
It was dopey.
He's a real character, this Brazilian prime minister. He's like refusing to wear masks and saying that there's no problem with COVID, and the cases were mentioned, weren't they?
What I'm going to do, I'm going to just share my screen, and you'll be able to see some of the images from the shared screen. You'll get the idea. Can you see that?
No.
No, hang on, let's see if I
It's
can
only
move
come
it.
up half.
It's just a little strip. I can just see a little strip across the top. No.
No, bear with me. Hang on. I'm sure I'll get there in a second. My phone's ringing. Who's ringing me now? It's Steve at Grondroy's ringing me. Share. Can you see that now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. It's because you've got a mask on, see?
Okay.
Terrible.
So yeah, that's that. Now, any questions before I move on to my little thing I want to try?
There's no questions have come through.
That's brilliant. So, Jem, have you got a picture, or can you show us the new little thing that we're opening in Claret? Hopefully, in the next couple of days.
Give the 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'll go and take one now. I'll take a little video, shall I, of it?
Okay.
Back in a minute.
Well, Jem, listen, while you're doing that, you can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Didn't hear that, sorry. Can now.
Headphones. Jem's going to go and take a picture of the new cocktail bar in Claret. I'm rather foolishly, because I've gone into this too deep now, and I've said I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a cocktail, one of the cocktails we're going to be serving. I'm going to try and make a cocktail live right before your very eyes now. So while Jem goes and gets the video,
Just gonna,
I've got all of my equipment here ready to do it. So I'm just gonna. So we're opening the cocktail bar in Claret. Jem's gonna, or if you want, Jem, do you want to wait and while I do the cocktail? Do you want to? Is he froze?
Well, yeah, he stopped, isn't he?
Jem's froze. Yeah, that's not really a good face to freeze on, that is it? Really?
I lost you all.
Oh,
Then.
he's back. Yeah.
You're back.
So it's because I'm streaming from my phone, so I'm gonna have difficulty doing this. So I'll figure something out. 1 second.
Okay.
You go make your cocktail.
I'm going to make the cocktail. So Ian, I'm gonna make for you now, and bear with me this because I've been practicing, but you know it's like when you do it live, it's probably going to go belly up. An espresso martini. Have you ever had an espresso martini before? No. Right. Okay. So first question: what do you think the main ingredient, apart from the espresso, is in an espresso martini?
Vodka.
Yes. Yes. A lot of people say martini, but obviously it's vodka. The martini bit comes from the fact it goes into a martini glass, which I'll go and get now.
He's very prepared, isn't he? He's got martini glasses. God, I'm looking to find a clean glass in our house to find a better martini glass.
Right, okay, so got my martini glass here.
Yeah.
Now it's really important when you serve a cocktail like an espresso martini to chill the glass. So always start with a few cubes of ice in the glass. Okay. So here's one I chilled earlier. It's been in the fridge for a while, and it's got the ice in there. It's now on my keyboard. Right.
I tell you what, you just like Tom Cruise, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What have I missed?
What was that film Tom Cruise did? Was it Cocktail?
Cocktail, yeah.
I feel more like the first part of that word than the whole word, but you know. So when we need our tin and our can. Okay. So in the tin we've got the ice. We've got the ice. Okay. So we've got the ice. Yeah. So now, main ingredient is going to be vodka, and for the benefit of this demonstration, I'm going to use Absolute vodka, but you can choose whichever vodka that you want to. They tell you to use a premium vodka. Absolute isn't really a premium vodka. It's a nice vodka, but you know it'll do for the purpose of this. So we're going to measure a shot of vodka. Okay.
Okay.
Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get the Kahlua, the coffee liqueur. You can use Tia Maria, but our preference in the Showboat Cocktail Bar is Kahlua. And again, it's a shot of that. It's a real simple cocktail to make.
And what's that, Thomas? What is it?
It's basically a version of Tia Maria, but you'll find it in most cocktail bars. It's a coffee liqueur. It comes from Mexico. It's imported from Mexico. You can get it in any supermarket really. So we've got our vodka. We've got our Kahlua. Now you've got two options at this point here. You can either use it's in the Showboat Club. We've got a coffee machine, but grinds the beans. So you can use the coffee from there and have a shot of espresso. Or if you're doing this at home, you can get some cold pour coffee, and this is what we use, and it's really, really nice. It's really nice. So again, we'll put a shot of that in, and these are 25ml shots. Some people do it with 30ml shots. Some people do it with 35ml shots. I've only got a 25ml measure, so I'm doing it with 25. So we've got our vodka, we've got the Kahlua, and we've got the cold pour coffee in there. Now this is where it gets. This is where you can put a bit of your own creativity into it. So we've got our sugar syrups here. So this is our pure cane sugar syrup, okay? And what I'm going to do with this is, on the 25ml, I'm just going to roughly fill it halfway, okay? And then, to give it a nice little extra added flavour, I'm going to fill the other half up with the caramel syrup. So we're using our Monin syrups. And that all goes into there. So there you go. So those are your basic ingredients for the espresso martini. This is the bit here. So we're going to take this. Now hopefully it's not going to go all over, but the key to this is you've got to give it a really good shake. And you'll know when you've shaken it to the right point because the outside of the tin and the can will start to frost. Okay? So
go on, shake him up, Thomas. Shake him up.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying to keep a straight face because if I start going, like this.
But the thing is, you know what we're thinking, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, yeah. So like, if you look there, can you see it starting to frost up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
All right, and it's the same on this bit as well. Right. So hopefully now we've got a nice froth in there. Okay. I'm just going to separate this without trying to. Right. Okay. So now here's the important bit. You need two strainers to do this. You need your normal tea strainer, and you need this. You know what this is called?
A whisk? No.
No, this is what they call a Hawthorne strainer. So you put this spring down,
Okay.
and what we're going to do, we need to get rid of the. So you're going to check that ice away. There you go. Take the ice out of the cocktail glass.
Wait, do I put it in the sink?
Yeah, just put it in the sink. So it's important to double strain it, and the reason you've got to double strain it is because where I've been shaking the cocktail tin and can so hard, some of the ice is broken up in there. So you don't want the bits of ice going in there. So what you do is you double strain it. So you take your Hawthorne strainer, and then you pour it and you strain it over the top of this strainer here.
I want one.
Now, if you look, so I don't want to get ice over my keyboard, but if you look in there, you can see it's got the ice which is broken up.
Yeah.
Whereas if you never had this strainer, that would have gone in the cocktail.
Yeah.
Now you leave it settle for a while, and what will happen? You get a nice separation. It should have a little bit more of a head in it than that, but you can see it from my side. You can see it, but the camera's not really.
Yeah, you can see it. See it's dark at the bottom.
Yeah, there you go. It should be a little bit more frothy now, and I think that's because we're using the caramel syrup. But so then, what you do to finish it off, then it's always 3 coffee beans, and these 3 coffee beans just go right by there, and that is the espresso martini.
Oh, well done, Thomas. That looks right.
And it'll be served from here. Oh, you need to put me back to host, Thomas.
Oh, okay.
What's it taste like, Thomas?
Do you know, I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm a tea drinker, and even though I'm not a coffee fan, I do like that, and I can't tell you exactly why I like it. I just don't know, but it's got a very nice taste to it.
That looks nice, doesn't it?
Mm.
It looks really good. Really, when you see it live, it looks really good.
When you first put that on, I don't know why, it looked very American.
I've got to give credit to my father-in-law, John. John's made that bar himself.
Yeah.
And all of the mirrors for that, it is something for you. So, Jem, I don't think you remember this because I don't think you was with us, but Ian, you certainly will when you and Joe first came. In the big room, in the far left and the far right, we used to have arches above the booths.
Yeah.
And those arches, this is going back 20 plus years ago, those arches had glass mirrors in there. And John, my father-in-law, he's a stickler for not throwing things away. He loves making things out of reclaimed materials. And those mirrors behind there, he's been storing for 20 odd years. And he's cut all the glass and he's put the lights on, and he's turned it into a cocktail bar. Can you answer that phone for me, please? I'll tell you what. Hang on, Mike.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Watch it as well. I'll tell you,
I'm just going to grab this call. 2 seconds. I'm just going to mute myself. 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks really good, and it's got the panel lights in the ceiling as well.
Looks really
really
nice.
Cool.
They're gonna have to change the covering on the bar now, aren't they? You know that brown covering on the bar. It makes that look old fashioned.
That's already happening. Already happening.
Yeah,
John's.
Yeah, but we are changing. Hopefully, we are putting a new bar in the next season or 2. And it's going to be all like a proper cocktail bar. Now, for us to be able to deliver these cocktails, we've had to team up with a very good cocktail bar in Aberystwyth called Barravin.
Oh yeah.
And the owner, Gaz, he's a friend of mine. He's a great lad, Gaz is. You'll see him when he's in there. He's the guy that meets and greets you. He's very much puts you in the mind of. Have you ever watched First Dates? First Dates Hotel and First Dates Restaurant, and also Fred, Gino, and Gordon. Well, he's very much in the mindset. He's very much a Fred type character. You know, the sort of the front of house, the maitre d'. Well, Gaz is meeting me in the club tomorrow. We're meeting at 3:00 along with some of the team, and we're going to be putting together the final cocktail menu. So we're going to be launching with about 4 or 5 cocktails, because I think the key to it is what we don't want to do is we don't want to launch with loads of cocktails. We want to pick 5 cocktails which we can make consistently good using the right ingredients, and we'll sort of develop it over a period of time. And we're also maybe putting some cheeky vodka slushes in there as well.
It's great, isn't it?
Ooh.
Great. Can't all that for £1.75. I can't believe it. No, it's great. And what's it? I bet you haven't had to buy anything now. John's bought everything back down from the caravan for that cocktail bar.
Very good. Very good.
It looks great. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it's. I'm really pleased with it. Yeah, really pleased with it. I'm looking forward to serving people.
I hope it. What's it? I hope it as well.
That's brilliant.
What's the news now in Wales with like the lockdown? I've read something. Haven't they released something else now so that so many families can mix or something?
Yeah. So what they've done is that they're allowing you to form a bubble with up to 4 households rather than, I think it's 2 households at the moment. And one of the things that the Welsh Government have come out today and said is that out of all of the countries that make up the United Kingdom, Wales is the only one of the 4 nations that's seeing a continual decrease in the numbers of deaths and numbers of infections, whereas unfortunately the figures seem to be going the other way across other parts of the UK. So obviously the Welsh Government are going to claim that's because of the measures that they've put in place. I'm sure it plays a part in it. Whether it is fully the reason why, we will never know. But I think based on the fact that things are going not according to plan in Scotland, Northern Ireland and England, and things are going according to plan, as it were, in Wales, I think this cautious approach is going to be something we're going to be seeing for some time here in Wales. So yeah, it's 4 households can meet. Obviously, the kids going back to school in September, and there was something else as well, which I can't
Something about
think.
weddings, wasn't there?
That was it. Weddings and funerals. So weddings and funerals. You can now have, I think, up to 30 people. Which, you know, I've never got that, especially with the funerals. I mean, you know, I've been to a couple of funerals during this lockdown period. You know, I think I spoke about the one I went to a few weeks ago and the reasons behind it, which I won't go into now. But all that happens when you restrict the numbers, say at a funeral, people are going to find ways of getting around that, because you're going to do whatever you can to sort of say goodbye to your loved one, and rightly so. And the one of the funeral I went to, it was they actually had the funeral in a big outdoor open space, rather than inside the crematorium, and it was just family members at the crematorium afterwards. But it's a step, certainly a step in the right direction to allow more people to gather at funerals and also weddings.
Yeah. Little steps, baby steps, we get there.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think what we are now experiencing is the new normal. I can't see there being a time within the next few months where there's going to be a press conference and the Prime Minister or the First Minister is going to say, right, from next week, everything goes back to normal as you were. I think those days are gone. I think you've only got to look at what's happening in America, where they've been very blasé at sort of a high level of the administration, and sort of almost denying the severity of it, and they're having all sorts of issues there in America as a result of that. And unfortunately, closer to home in some of the sort of the countries on the continent as well, Spain is seeing an increase, France, of course. So I don't think it's going anywhere soon.
No.
The worrying thing is the longer things go on without entertainment, it's whether people then will say, well, shall we like get the entertainment back, or shall we just put like little drabs and things of entertainment on, or what, you know, until everything's completely back to normal, you know, and then go back to like a full program.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't get the logic behind not being able to have entertainment, and I can't, for the life of me, understand if you're allowing people to go inside a licensed venue and you're controlling the numbers within that licensed venue, then what difference does it make if you've got a singer on the stage? Because there are, you know, you could do it in sort of like a lounge bar setting where you could say to the artist, look, we want you to come and sing, but rather than sort of doing all of your floor fillers and everything, could you tone it down and do sort of like almost like a live lounge version, like you hear on Radio One? There's a lot of artists, you know, especially the ones that can play acoustic guitar, or they can just play piano. They can just get there on the stage, and it's just providing a little bit of entertainment, so people can still sit within their groups and have a chat. But by denying that to happen, it's going to do two things. It's going to put a lot of livelihoods at risk, because, you know, a lot of these singers and artists, they don't know anything else. They've been born and bred into this industry, and they don't know anything else. And secondly, it's just going to drive it underground, and that's going to create more problems. Simple as that. But we are where we are, and we have to accept the position we're in. We're trying to do little. I mean, look, next Thursday, I should have mentioned it before. I think it's the 27th next Thursday.
Yeah.
We're actually in the main room in Claret because we've got the capacity to do it. We've got the equipment to do it. We're doing a family dine-in cinema. So if you're on Park on Thursday at Claret Bay, go and see the girls in the kitchen. Go and see Joanna or Rianne or Ruth, one of the girls that work in the kitchen. And what we're doing, we're showing a film. We're showing the new Scooby-Doo film, which is really good. I watched it with the kids a couple of weeks ago. And we're charging £5 for the children, and that £5 will get them a meal, like a happy type meal, you know, chicken nuggets and chips. It'll get them a drink, and it'll get them popcorn. We're doing a normal menu for the adults. The adults don't have to eat, but it's the concept is a dine-in cinema at a social distance. So we've got a very big screen in Claret. We use a top of the range laser projector, Sony laser projector, and it's high quality, high resolution in 4K. We've got the Dolby surround sound in there as well, and we're doing it on a first come first served basis. So if that's something you're about for next week at Claret Bay, then book now while you can.
I hope it's not like that cheap laser you had the other year. Welded my fly holes up.
The cheap one? I missed that then.
No, so
I lost that
I
one as
hope
well.
it's not like that cheap laser you had the other year that welded my fly holes up.
Yeah. So that's one thing which is on the horizon for next week. We've got Sunday dinners tomorrow, of course, at Claret Bay and at Ocean Heights, and we've been getting a lot of good feedback about these Sunday dinners, and it's really encouraging when we get that positive feedback. So it sort of gives us all a nice little boost. And we serve the Sunday dinners primarily between 12:30 and 2:30. And if you go on the app, I don't know if you want to bring the app up, Jem, so we can show people again, because you do need to book your slots, because they are. I say this every week, and every week we end up selling out, and every week you're having to turn people away because we haven't got any more slots. So
I used the app the other night, Thomas.
Mm.
I came in the club and I used the app. I used the thing to not clock in, to what's the barcode thing to check in. That worked great. And then we sat down and I got the app up, and I said to the kids, okay, what we're eating, and we just and it was quite simple.
It's great when you're at home as well.
Look, if Ian can use it, then that gives hope for all of us to be able to use it. So,
but it worked. I mean, it worked fine.
No, we've been sat at home at night and we're like, I can't be bothered cooking, and straight on the app and delivered. It's brilliant. The delivery thing is that is brilliant. And to have your Sunday dinner
I've
delivered.
enjoyed doing it. I normally on a Sunday you'll see me out and about in the park in deliveries. It's great because, you know, I'm getting people give me tips and everything. It's fantastic.
But how can you beat that delivered Sunday dinner?
And what we're doing it, we're delivering it in a we believe it or not, we've done a lot of research on the best type of container for us to deliver it in. Not only a container that sort of keeps us within the COVID guidelines, but also a container that makes sure that the food is hot and fresh when it's delivered to you. And one thing I would say, if you are thinking of joining, this is really important. So if you've booked your Sunday dinner, or you're thinking of booking your Sunday dinner, and you want to eat it in the club, we are serving it everything in takeaway containers and plastic things and polystyrene things at the moment. We have to. I know there's some pubs out there that are not, and they're serving it on normal crockery and cutlery, and that's something we're looking to do in September. But for now, it's in takeaways. But what some enterprising people are doing, it's a great idea, is they're bringing their own cutlery and crockery into the club, and we're serving it to them in the takeaway, and they're transferring it. they're having the dinner, and then they got a little plastic bag, and when they finish, they put the dirty plates and everything in there, tie it up, and they take it home with them.
Brilliant.
And not just for the Sunday dinner, there's people coming in having curries and fish and chips, and they're transferring it to their own plates. And I think that's really good, because you've got peace of mind then that whatever you're eating it on, you know, if I go somewhere, I like to eat it on proper stuff. I don't like to eat it out of plastic containers. So if I was on holiday, I'd certainly be doing the same thing, and it gives you peace of mind that it's clean.
Well, that was a clever thing you did last year, when the kitchen first opened. Bring your own plate. Do you know what I mean? To do that was great as well.
It's like, that's how I first met Ian. The first years ago, I got an invite to one of these illegal raves, and it said on the invite, "Bring your own dope." And somebody put me in contact with Ian, and we've been mates ever since.
No longer.
Look, if you bring that website back up again, please. So I just want to show you how the time slots work. So if you just do it it's always better for the purposes of this demonstration. Jem's done it as a guest, but we encourage everybody to sign in and register, because it's the most economical way that you get our best prices. So if you're going to do let's do a collection first of all tomorrow. So you're doing a collection. So if you just drop down, if you go to Sunday, there you go, and if you just drop down the times there, collect that, you'll see that the only times available from 12:30 to 14:30, 2:30. So we have got a number of so for each of those time slots, there's a certain number of orders that we're able to fulfill. So you need to, if you're thinking of having dinner, whether you're collecting, delivering, or eating, it needs to be within one of those time slots. There's less time slots available for the delivery because of the logistics involved. There's more time slots available for eating and collection. But the key to it is, if you're thinking of doing it, then get it booked now. We've also got, if you just click on a Sunday roast adult there, please. Just bear with me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just going to mute a second while I just talk to my children. Just bear with me. Daddy. Hang on, bear with. You'll see what we've got lamb on the menu.
Oh, Andy likes a bit of lamb. Does like good lamb.
It's good meat, isn't it? It's good.
Well, the butcher, if I believe right, the butcher they use is a guy from Aberystwyth, Rob Rattray. It's like an award-winning butcher. Is that right?
It's all
yeah. Now we haven't got, believe it or not, we haven't got as much lamb as we've got beef and pork. So the lamb is as is all of the meat, first come first serve. But the lamb is probably going to sell out. I'm just going to look now just to see how many we've got booked in for tomorrow. So bear with me. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
It's good though, and it's good that you can choose. I didn't know you could choose beef, pork, or lamb if you click on that. I never clicked on that.
Let's go.
There you go.
I'm getting hungry now.
Learn something new all the time.
I want it now.
Oh yeah, you know what as well? You know with the app.
Yeah.
When I use the app, and then obviously you pay by card.
Yeah.
And the only thing you've got to put, you've got to put your card details. It scans part of your card, but then you've got to put all the other details in. Which I thought, I wish you could have just held the card and done like a touchless thing on your own phone to sort of do that. But perhaps that's something that's going to come. But then afterwards, when it takes the payment, I got an email then with just to say this is the payment that's been taken and the breakdown of what I'd ordered on there and how it got to the thing.
I don't know if you can see my screen, but if you stop sharing a second now. I don't know if you can see it.
No, it's just white. It's really
basically, my full screen as I'm scrolling like that, those are people who have booked in for tomorrow. So we are close to the limit at the moment.
Capacity.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's good then. Good, Thomas. It's good.
Yeah. So any questions before I go?
Let's have a look if anything's come up.
No, I don't think so.
No. Nothing coming through at all.
Good night, boys. I had a great curry the other night. Was visiting some friends in the Cardigan area in West Wales. They're part of our bubble. And there's a I can't think of the name. It's an Indian restaurant in Cardigan. and absolutely spot on. I think it's called Ali's, and yeah, have the Ali special. Brilliant.
Have you tried this place in Swansea yet? It was.
When you went to the football.
Well, no, the local curry place here, their family's got a restaurant down in Swansea. I think, is there a marina there?
Yeah.
Well, it's by the marina there somewhere. And I always remember that I can't tell you what it's called, but I know it's the Punjabi word for kitchen. So if you look up kitchen in Punjabi, that's what the restaurant's called.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, right? So I've got this app on my phone. So this is you saw it the other day in the office, didn't you?
Is this the one you were talking to the boss?
Yeah. So should we see if it does Punjabi? Let's have a look.
This is really clever.
So let's see if it does Punjabi. I've got to find it first. I've sorted all my apps out today. Is it in productivity? Maybe. No, it's not there.
Communication.
It's called, yeah. So let's change my language to. Change my language to, and you'll have to.
So does he do English to Punjabi?
Find out now.
Just while you're finding that, Anita Walters Thomas says she loves your Peaky Blinders haircut.
I do think he looks smart, Thomas. He
does look really good.
He really suits you. Yeah, he really suits you.
No, Arthur.
I tell you what, that's probably the best $4.99 you've spent.
Right, Punjabi. Oh yeah, we've got Punjabi. Right, okay. So works now. So I can either type or speak. So I'll type in English kitchen. It's giving me the answer in Arabic. So
yeah.
I can't read Arabic. So let's speak. Hang on. Kitchen.
Razoi.
Yes, kitchen.
It's Razoi.
Anybody that's just tuned in is just seeing the two of you just shout random words at your phones. Kitchen, Razoi. Kitchen, Razoi.
It's giving me in Arabic.
Well, it's Razoi. Rasoi. Or is it L? It might be an L. It's either Razol or Razoi. Anyway, that's the name of the Indian restaurant in Swansea.
The best. Let me tell you the best Indian restaurant in Swansea, right? And have we got any Welsh people listening to the show tonight? So let's do. So if you're from Wales, in particular, if you're from the Swansea area, just give us a little thumbs up. We'll just let us know. Let's find out who from Wales is listening tonight.
Sure.
Just seeing where we've caught up. So they've just got the message. So let's see what comes through.
So are we going live to all rooms? Are we in the club?
I know we're in the main room. I'm not sure about the Tom Barker lounge.
The reason I'm saying this is because one of the best films ever is a film that's set in Swansea called Twin Town. It's from like the 1990s, 1997, and there's a very famous scene from an Indian restaurant in that film, and it's hilarious. If you've not seen the film Twin Town, go and watch it. But it may be one of those films where, unless you're from Wales, you may not get all of the humour, and all of the sayings. But if you are Welsh, especially from that area, you'll understand everyone. If you are Welsh and from that area, no doubt you would have seen it umpteen times. But there's sorry.
No, we just look. The only comment we've had is Joanne Cinder saying Razzie.
Yeah, it is Razzie. It is Razzie.
So there's a famous. Used to be back in the day. There used to be a famous club in Swansea called Barons, right? Baron's Karaoke, and it's closed down years ago. And it used to have and it's featured heavily in Twin Town, and it used to have another nickname called the Parachute Club, because you was guaranteed a jump when you went there. So, yeah, allegedly, so I've been told. But yeah, Baron's Karaoke. Yeah. So there you go. So there's your homework, boys. Go and watch Twin Town. Go and watch Twin Town.
I'm sure there's a sequel coming out to that. You know, I'm sure that I've read recently.
There is. It's called Tin Town, not Twin Town. It's actually directed. So in the original one, what's his name? Keith Allen. Keith Allen plays. It's Keith Allen's brother that directs the film. And in the original film, Keith Allen has got one scene in it, and it's quite a long scene, and he's hilarious. He plays. Well, I'm not going to spoil it, but he plays a very funny part in this film. And there's a very famous line which me and my mate still banter with each other about, 20 odd years after it came out. But the sequel is set in the neighbouring town called Llanelli. So you've got Swansea, and then further west towards Carmarthen, you've got the end of the M4, and you've got another place called Llanelli. And the sequel is called Tin Town. But from what I've been told, it's not entirely a sequel. It's they're not allowed to, they haven't got the rights or something to call it a sequel, but it's loosely based on the first film.
Well, we've got one of our big fans here on CBTV, Anne-Marie Llanelli. She's actually put, yes, the Llanelli gang are online and they are filming it at the moment. Kevin Allen is the director.
There you go. So I go, as most people know, I'm a big Swansea City fan, and going back, I think it was beginning of last season, not the season, but this is ended, the one before that. A lot of the cast of Twin Town were at the game, because they sort of sitting where I was, and Keith Allen was there, his brother was there. One of the big characters, I can't think of his real name, was Bryn Cartwright. He was there, and apparently they were coming out doing like a bit of a recce for the new film, and they was all went to watch the Swans game. Yeah.
Just to let you know, we're going to have somebody joining us now as well.
Oh yeah,
little mate of yours. We've actually had a bit of a question come through, Thomas.
Okay.
And there he is. It's the man himself,
Hey.
Mr. Jason Murphy. Charlotte Owen, one of our owners here at Clarick, has said she's seen a couple advertising letting their caravan with free Wi-Fi. Are we missing something?
I saw this, and when I read it, I thought, because she also says that they've got two smart TVs, and I thought, I bet they've got like they've got their own mobile Wi-Fi. That's how I read it.
So it's do you know what? Let me talk about, before we speak to Mr. Murphy. Good evening, sir. You're looking dapper as always. Let me just answer my daughter a minute, because she's being very rude again.
He does look very smart, doesn't he?
Thomas, he's not doing the Irish show, is he?
I hope not.
I think he heard that.
So I just want to, before we talk to Asa, good evening. We're not being rude. We've just got to answer a question that's coming, and then we'll have a bit of a catch-up, mate. It's been a while. So Wi-Fi. I'm going to be honest with you, as I always am. We have had major issues with, and this is not your problem, this is our problem, the company. We have had major issues with the company that provides a lot of our networking and IT infrastructure, to the point where we're sort of in the process of changing to a new company. One of the issues we've had is across our group of parks, the Wi-Fi has been less than acceptable, and I'm going to put my hands up and say yes, it has. There's no excuses. Now, one of the challenges you face on holiday parks, and I think I have sort of touched on this before, is people, anywhere we go now, we expect to have Wi-Fi. It's almost like the fourth utility. You've got your gas, electric, water, and then you can probably add Wi-Fi onto that. A little bit like the Coast Guard being the fourth emergency service, police, ambulance, fire, Coast Guard, electric, water, gas, Wi-Fi. One of the challenges we have at holiday parks is you've got a big open space, there's trees in the way, and take Claret, for example, there's about 50 acres of land. Park Farm, there's near enough double that, and you've got to bounce a signal all the way around the park. And then to add extra complexity to it, you've got these little tin boxes called caravans, which you've got to try and get the signal into, and Wi-Fi doesn't like going into caravans. And we have been trying for a long time to come up with a solution that works. So during the lockdown, our IT company were meant to provide us with a new Wi-Fi system. They haven't. So we're now moving to another company, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen until next season. But I've been assured that the company that we're moving to, I've seen their equipment, it's tested, tried and tested, and it's going to be much better. So if you can just bear with us until next season, that'll be great. I'm just going to mute again because my phone is ringing. It's one of the parks. They're trying to get the phone.
Why?
So have you been, Ace? We haven't seen you for a while.
I can't hear you, Ace. Are you muted? Can't hear you.
There we go. How's that?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. Yeah, nice to see you guys.
I'm back again. I'm back.
There he is.
Yeah. So just to finish,
go on.
So just to finish that Wi-Fi thing off. So, and sorry to, I just want to have a catch up with Ace. I've not spoken to him in a while. So the top and the bottom of it is we're not going to be able to offer you the Wi-Fi service what we wanted to offer you this season. To go back to the question that the lady asked me prior, yes, Ian is probably right. They've probably got mobile broadband. What I would suggest to everybody at this moment in time, and I know this isn't the answer you're looking for, but if you've got half decent mobile phone signal when you're on park, then it may be worth talking to your mobile phone provider and seeing if they can chuck you a bit of extra data free of charge, and normally they're pretty good with that. I know EE have done that with a few people I've spoken to, just to tide you over. If you're like me and you rely on an internet connection to sort of conduct your day-to-day business, the only real option you've got at the moment is to go and get a mobile dongle, as they're known. You can get packages starting from about £15 a month with EE, O2, Vodafone, whatever. Next year, the way in which we anticipate it's going to work is that there's going to be brand new infrastructure put across the parks, and the company providing the Wi-Fi, you will contact. So each owner will contact the company, and for a small fee, I'm not sure exactly what the fee is. I think they're quoting somewhere in the region. I say small. They're quoting somewhere in the region of say £200. They will put a receiver on the side of your caravan, along with a router inside the caravan. So you're guaranteed that good signal. So it's not having the issue of trying to penetrate through the metal. And then you can buy packages direct for them to access the network. So that's the way in which it's going to work for next season. But unfortunately, we can't do, despite our best efforts, there's nothing much we can do about it this season. Sorry.
Not even with all them satellites going up.
Here's the thing. So if you want to talk about satellites, you can get, so this is where sometimes people get a little bit misled. So people try and sell you a satellite service for broadband, but one of the inherent problems with connecting to the internet via satellite is the latency. So even though it can offer you sort of ridiculously fast speeds of hundreds and hundreds of megabits per second, there's going to be like a little lag with latency. So when it comes to doing things like streaming, or for example, if like me, you want to try and connect into the office network, which requires going through sort of like a terminal server or a Citrix connection, you're going to really struggle on a satellite connection because of the latency. So don't be fooled by people offering you super fast satellite connections and not all what they're cracked up to be.
No. You have to wait for the space station to come over to get it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. But anyway, enough of the tech talk.
I'm just
to Mr. Asa Murphy.
I'm just writing some of this down.
Yeah.
Don't wait for a satellite to cross. What about Betamax videos?
Betamax videos? Well, yeah. I mean, you can either have that, or you can even have an 8-tracks if you want to, Asa.
How come you know so much about these things?
Well, yeah, full of useless information. Do you know, the other day I was sorting through some old stuff, and I came across two things. In one hand, I had a cassette. I think it was something like now 27 or something like that.
Brilliant.
And this hand, I had a CD. And I went to my three kids. I went, right, question, what's Daddy holding in his hands? Yeah. And they could not tell me what I was holding.
That's amazing.
They didn't even recognise the CD.
Believable.
I said to I said, I got one of them out the other day and said to my kids, "What's that?"
You got your 12-inch out?
No, I got my dongle out.
Yeah.
And they were like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Well, that's called." And I was showing them, and they were like, they just couldn't believe that people actually bought them.
Conversation about this. So I'm as the three of you know, I've DJed ever since I was about 12 years of age. And when I first started DJing, you would have a pair of Technics, a set of Technics 1210s, record decks, and you'd have a vinyl collection. Now, Technics 1210s you can still buy today. And the way in which they're made today is exactly the way they was made back in the late 70s, early 80s. So Technics released a 1210 as a domestic appliance, as part of a domestic hi-fi system. And then you had the DJs like Grandmaster Flash and all of those pioneers of hip-hop over in America, who sort of turned the turntable around that way. And they was able to sort of cut and splice and do all the magic tricks and everything, you see. And it became the industry standard ever since. For nightclubs. So when I was sort of DJing when I was in my sort of 20s and I was going to nightclubs, the normal thing you do is you'd have in the boot of your car, you'd have all of your vinyl collection, and when you get there, you try and park somewhere near like a Tesco or an Asda, because you could, for £1. Did you know at Tesco's and Asda they sell shopping trolleys for £1?
Right.
Yeah. So you put yeah. So I'd go and buy myself a shopping trolley for £1, and then I'd take it to the boot of my car, and I'd put all my vinyl in there, and I'd push it to the back door of the nightclub, and then you'd set all your vinyl up, and you put the record on, and the sound you get from vinyl on Technics 1210s, even today in 2020, is much better than any sort of digital sounds you get from an MP3 or any sort of digital. It's not as compressed.
Yeah, I bet I know what you did then. You threw the shopping trolley in a canal.
No. So then what they did then, they got clever with it now. So I still prefer to use vinyl, but what you do now is, without boring everybody too much with the story, is that vinyl you've got there, that Ray Charles record, you get what's called time-coded vinyl, which looks and feels the same. But when you put it on the Technics 1210, there's a digital interface that goes between the record deck and the mixer, and it digitizes that vinyl. So when you select your song, it sends it to that vinyl, so you still got the touch and the feel of the.
Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. But vinyl, it's brilliant. You'll never beat the sound of vinyl.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, I have a record player and I have quite an extensive collection of vinyl. And I've just since I saw you last time, still with the BBC, but a new radio station's been launched in Liverpool, called Liverpool Live 24/7. It's been launched by a guy called Rod Key, and he's basically all of the Radio Merseyside presenters who are let go. He's immediately.
Soul DJs. Was he a Northern Soul DJ, Rod Key?
Rod Key may have been. He may have been.
Yeah.
He was a DJ, but he's also he's a self-made guy who owns a huge concrete company as well. And when he saw what was happening with Radio Merseyside, they were letting a lot of the presenters go. He just thought, this isn't good. So he started his own radio station. He purchased the DAB Plus and the bandwidth and all that. And he just basically grabbed all these DJs like Kev Seed and Billy Butler and Pete Price. He approached me and he said, "Would you like to come over?" And I'm still with the BBC, but because of the COVID, everything's been reduced down with the BBC now, and they're basically. Presenters are just hardly doing anything at all, and most of it's going, instead of being regional, it's all national.
People tune into your show then, Asa, if they want to listen to your radio show, where do they go and what days and what times?
Well, I'm on every Sunday, Liverpool Live 24/7, so they can get us online, and they can also get us on DAB Plus, and they can also get us on Alexa by simply saying to Alexa or Google, play Liverpool Live 24/7. And I'm on 4 till 7 every Sunday. Liverpool Live.
When somebody from Liverpool talks to Alexa, do they have to reprogram Alexa to cope with the extra in the middle of it?
Says a Welshman.
Hey, Alexa.
Yeah. Chicken aan gaan goog.
Chicken, yeah. So what type of show is it then, Asa? What do you do on your show?
What I've done is because I'm doing 3 hours and it's live as well. What I do is the first hour, we have a subject every week. For example, last week was obviously, with it being 43 years since Elvis Presley died, I had at the first we played Elvis songs all over the 3 hours, but we had guests, and we had the UK's #1 Elvis tribute artist on the phone talking about his tour, and then we did a
Who was that?
live. That's Ricky Aaron. He's
Yeah.
great entertainer. And then we did in the middle we did a live acoustic set of Elvis songs, and then in the last part of the show, I had the president of the Liverpool Elvis Presley fan club come in with this very, very rare collection of Elvis outtakes from the studio, which you just wouldn't hear normally. And it was fascinating. So you could hear Elvis talking to the musicians and mistakes and then other things. So it's based around chat and music recently. This Sunday I'm doing it all about famous album covers, funny enough. And I've got a producer coming into the studio as well to talk about some of the famous albums he's produced for, like Frankie Goes to Hollywood, people like that. So he's talking about the work of a producer as regards one of the unsung heroes as regards music.
I watched a documentary, and it was one of our own team that put me onto it, Joy Evans, on Netflix. There's a documentary about a guy no doubt you would have heard of, but until the documentary, I'd never heard of him. But every single record he's produced, I've heard of because they're all international smash hits.
Yeah.
David Foster.
Yeah, well, he discovered Michael Bublé, didn't he?
Yes, and it's a big part of the documentary, and it tells you. Did you hear the story about how he discovered Bublé?
Yeah. We did quite an extensive thing on David Foster, and I just thought it was fascinating to hear that he basically said to Bublé, "You come up with the money, and I'll make your first album for you." I think his parents remortgaged their house to give him the needed funds.
Well, on the documentary, how, and no doubt you'll correct me if I'm wrong in this, Asa, because you're the oracle of all things music. I can't think of his name, but the then Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah, that's right.
It was his daughter's wedding.
Yeah,
and the Prime Minister of Canada knew Bublé and he knew David Foster.
That's right. Yeah.
He invited David Foster to the wedding and said, "Look, you're sitting right at the front because there's a guy that I want you to hear sing, and he's absolutely incredible." And David Foster said, "Well, he's probably just like another lounge bar singer, the tenor penny." And that's how the relationship between Bublé and David Foster was born.
The great thing about that was that Michael Bublé said his biggest regret was that the first song he sang when he saw David Foster was in the set was Mac the Knife. And although it's a great song, it's not a great song as Jem and Ian will tell you to show off vocals, because it's more of a performance piece, Mac the Knife. It's not like, and I don't think David Foster was overly impressed with him at first, but then I think he did a ballad. It might have been The Summer Wind. And then David Foster thought no, but he said to him, "Look, you come up with $50,000 and I'll produce your first album," to see whether he was serious. So Bublé's parents remortgaged their home, gave him the 50,000. He went to the States, and halfway through the production of Bublé's first album, David Foster said, "Forget the money. We're gonna make much more than this." He just wanted to see the commitment levels of Michael Bublé, because Bublé said that after that wedding, if he hadn't have made it after the wedding, he was packing it in.
Begs the question: how many undiscovered Michael Bublés are still out there?
Well, that's the nature of show business, isn't it? It's like there's so many people out there with incredible amounts of talent who don't get to those levels, but they've got to ask themselves a question: do they still enjoy doing what they do? Are they getting paid for it, which is a privileged position to be in? So, okay, they mightn't reach the zeniths of Michael Bublé, but they're still getting paid to do what they love. And some people don't get that chance. Some people work in an office and get their soul sucked out of them every day. So, if you sing for a living and you get paid for it, you're very, very fortunate.
Out of all of the artists who are sort of front and centre today, who are out there, sort of the A-list, if you like, international recording artists, for you, vocally, just put showmanship to one side, but vocally, who would you say is the best out there at the moment?
It's a very good question. Yeah, it is a really good question. I'd have to have a little think about that, because I tend I tend to listen to a lot of the older vocalists, so I'd have to say, I mean, I do believe Lady Gaga is a very special talent. I would
Unbelievable.
say that I'd say her, to be honest. I put her in the same bracket as Barbara Streisand and people like that. I think she's inventive, she's incredibly talented, writes wonderful songs, and her vocal is just incredible. So I'd say her. She's a special talent.
What do you want to weigh into this? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it's horses for courses, isn't it? There's different types of singers for different stuff. I've got there's a great singer that I see. Well, I haven't seen this year now with what's gone on, but once a year he's Canadian. Once a year he comes over. I've told you about it before. It was with a group called the Brothers Landreth, and he's a guy called Joey Landreth, and he does like it's sort of like Americana sort of country type stuff. Unbelievable guitarist, but his voice, he just stands on stage and he just sings on his own. Unbelievable. But I mean, he's not like a swing singer or a jazz singer or that kind of thing, you know. But
I'll have to check him. I'll have to check it. Have a listen to him.
Yeah, Joey Landreth, unbelievable. Great.
Justin
Like
Bieber.
that kind of country stuff, brilliant.
It's got to be Justin Bieber for me.
Really?
No.
I love Justin Bieber.
I think Justin Bieber. I'm a bit late to the Bieber bus, but you know, I do appreciate him because I think he's a talented lad. But for me, if I had to choose two, I could narrow it down to just in terms of vocals. I mean, one of these guys is also an incredible performer, but just purely on the vocal of today's current crop of singers, I would go with another Canadian guy called The Weeknd. Who's almost like Michael Jackson. He sings, his last biggest song was Blinding Lights. You know, remember that one? Yeah, you know, Blinding. It's one of the biggest hits of last year, Blinding Lights. And also Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
For me, The Weeknd and Bruno Mars are the two.
Yeah.
Are the two artists at the top of the game
I think Bruno Mars is a good shout. I think he reminds me very much of James Brown and people like that in his, style. Great writer.
If I had to go and say of all time, who's your favourite? And I think I'd have to sort of do it in groups. So if I looked at the crooners, I know Ace is going to go for Ace is going to go Bobby Darin all day long. I would imagine. But I think.
You know what though? What you just said, I split swing singers in a different manner. You know, for technical singing, Matt Monroe's very hard to beat.
Yeah.
You see, Matt Monroe was a much better singer than Bobby Darin. Bobby Darin was a great live performer who knocked spots off Monroe on stage because he was electric. But Monroe would just stand there. They nicknamed him a little bit cruelly the stationary singer because he never moved. But technically, I would say Monroe was the best.
Yeah.
He was. That's not a bad shout.
Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole. That's what I was going to say. For me, it's Nat King. I'd put Nat King Cole as out of the crooners, if you like. I think for me, Nat King Cole just edges it over Sinatra. For me personally.
Yeah.
If I look at the soul singers, again, I've got 2 or 3 in the list. But if I had to choose one, I would go Marvin Gaye. But overall, I don't know. I mean, is it Whitney Houston?
Luther.
I mean, what an incredible
Luther.
Oh my God, Luther Vandross.
Yeah, I would go with Sam Cooke for
Sam
me.
Cooke.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I think enough of us talking now. I think we should get some entertainment on the
go. Shut up, Jem.
No, I haven't stopped, have I?
You know what? Poor old Jem's working that hard. He looks like he's going to have a kip on the couch now.
You should mention that, Asa, because I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight behind the scenes at Claret Bay, because Jem is in charge of hiring and firing the entertainment team here at Claret Bay.
Yeah.
And if you want a job here at Claret Bay, you have to come and see Jem if it's entertainment. And let's just say that couch is also our casting couch.
So when does Ken start?
Last week. Speaking of which, where is he? Thought he was joining you tonight.
He was, but we had a little afternoon, last minute afternoon garden party came in today. We ended up doing it inside the house because of the weather, and he was with me. And I said, are you going to join me? And he went, no, I'm too tired. I said, we haven't done anything since March, you lazy get. And he was like, no, I'm going to go home and have a couple of whiskies. So I said, oh, well, okay, I'll hold the fort anyway. And he asked me to pass his best wishes on to you all anyway.
Oh, bless him. Just to apologise to John Loveridge, we won't be doing the quiz tonight. We got a little bit carried away with all of our chats. But you're not going to be disappointed, because this man that's about to start singing for you now is going to melt your heart.
Sing for you now has got one of the best voices.
Well, I was going to something I wanted to hopefully in the future invite you guys down to, just a bit of a first I'm doing. The whole of my life has been spent singing the songs of other singers, whereas I've written songs for many years. And during the lockdown, I had one song which did very well. It went to #2 in the Amazon chart, a song called Hope on the Rise. So I carried on writing during the lockdown and other material I had in the past. So I decided for the first time ever, it's been a thing I wanted to do. I'm going to do a concert in Liverpool at the Grand Central Hall, which will be all of my own original material with a full band orchestra, and it'll be a 2-hour show of no covers at all.
Brilliant.
It'll just be all my own material from the first.
When?
It'll probably be later on in the year, probably around October, November. And
whatever night we do it on, we can go out for. Me and Joanne will come up. We'll stay the night, and we'll book a nice hotel, and we'll go out for a few drinks after the show.
Well, that'll be lovely, yeah, because it'll be a first, because it's something I always wanted to do, and I just thought, right, well, some of the songs during lockdown, which I did, which were, I think, in fact, a couple of the songs, Jem was the first person to hear some of them, because a couple of times I asked him, would it be okay if I ran them by him? Because I know he's got a good ear for music, and there was a couple I played for him. There was one which did very, very well called Sisters and Brothers.
That's lovely.
Which that will be in the show, and
that's not a rip off of the Drifter song, is it? Like,
no, funny enough, it's not. It's basically about the situation we're in the world we were at the time, and the fact that the 6 degrees of separation. We should remember that basically we are all sisters and brothers, and it's confusing to see why people treat each other certain ways. But I played that for Jem, and then I started sending him stuff. He's probably going nuts. I was sending him original stuff, saying, "What do you think of that?"
I haven't listened to any of it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to sign off and have myself another.
Okay.
Martini. And Asa, it's good to chat. I will call you tomorrow.
Okay, pal.
I know we keep missing each other, and I apologise. It's not been by design.
No, I understand
But,
how busy you are.
We'll have a good catch up on the phone tomorrow, or I will give you a call. But for now, I'm going to sign off and say goodnight. And I'm just going to sit back, relax, and listen to the incredible talents of Mr. Asa Murphy.
Right.
He's froze.
Thanks, guys. Lovely.
If you froze up, then not a good time to freeze up. Now, just let you know, Asa, because we moved studios.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of internet issues, so
okay.
I'll be with you all the way through it, but not on screen. Okay.
Don't worry.
So I'm there for you if you want me, and I'll have the chat open as well for any.
I won't, because I'm going to the pub now.
Good idea.
But I'll see you at the end. I'll be here. Don't worry.
Okay, chaps. See you a bit later on.
Ladies and gentlemen,
see ya.
Asa Murphy.
Here we go. Okay, folks. Mr. Saturday dance. Here they crowd the floor. Awfully different without you. I don't get around much anymore. Thought I'd visit the club. Got as far as the door, but they'd have asked me about you. I don't get around much anymore. My darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up memories? been invited on dates. Might have gone, but what for? 'Cause they'd have asked me about you. I don't get around much anymore. Well, it's nice to be with you all, folks, on Clarick Bay TV again. It's been a while. Thank you very much to Jem and to Thomas and Ian. Nice to see Andy as well. I'm going to be doing a little bit of swing music, folks, so put yourselves a nice glass of wine. Jack Daniels, I've got me cup of coffee. Good to be with you again. My darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, why stir up memories? Been invited on dates. Might have gone, but what for? It's awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. It's awfully different without you. I don't get around much anymore. Duke Ellington. Here we go, folks. The wonderful work of the great Duke Ellington. A song recorded, obviously, by Nat King Cole. Also covered, I think, Rod Stewart on one of the many successful American songbook albums he did over the years. So it's great to be with you. Like I said before, I've hot-footed it from a show here in Liverpool this afternoon. The weather wasn't too great here, so we're just getting back bit by bit to the indoor performances, of course, with social distancing. So wherever you are, I hope you're all well on this evening. And like I said, I'm going to be going through some swing material. So I'm going to have a little look what I've got for you. And you know, I'm going to have a go at this one. There's a great version of a Frank Sinatra classic. Here we go. I got the world on a string. I'm sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around my finger. Lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? I got a song I can sing. I can make the rain go anytime I move my finger. Lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? Life's a wonderful thing, as long as you have that string. I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let it go. I got the world on a string. I can make the rain go anytime I move my finger. Oh, lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? Yeah! This is swing music, folks. Swing it, baby. Life's a wonderful thing, as long as you have that string. I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let it go. I got the world on a string. I can make the rain go anytime I move my finger. Lucky me, this is the life. Lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? say, baby, I got the world on a string. Just you and me, baby, on a string. Boom! There we go. Great, great version of that song. Of course, recorded by Frank Sinatra and recorded by, we mentioned before when we were chatting, the one and only Michael Bublé, of course. Okay, well, if we've got any requests, if I can see them there, if I can do them, it'd be no problem at all. Let's have a look what else we've got. Right. I'll be flicking through the different discs, so don't mind, because like we said before, my normal sound man, Little Ken, we had our afternoon gig, has gone home because he's a little bit tired. So he's left me to man the fort. In fact, tell you what I'm going to do next. I'm going to... Oh, let's do this one. This is a great version. This of a Nat King Cole song. Here we go. Beautiful song, this. L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only girl I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E, well, that's even more than anyone that I adore. And love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Here we go. Yeah. Saturday night with some swing music. Yeah. L is for the way you look at me. O, it's for the only girl I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E, well, that's even more than anyone that I adore. And love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you. Love was made for me and you. How'd you spell it, folks? L-O-V-E, love. Boom. There we go. Okay, well, I'm going to swap this disc over now. There we go. I hope you're enjoying the music, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching in Claret Bay, I hope the weather's not too bad where you are. I don't know if I can see, if you can message me or say hello. Oh, there we go. Any messages, any chat, say hello, so I'll give you a shout out if you're on screen there. Oh, I can see you. I can see now. We see where you might be.
We've got lots of clapping going on.
Oh, is there?
Lots of clapping going on.
Oh, lovely. That's nice. Right. Okay. Tell you what I'm going to do then. I'm going to find a nice... We mentioned Matt Monro before, so I thought, well, nice Saturday evening. Let's do a few numbers by the wonderful Matt, or Terry Parsons, as was his real name, and he was actually named by the entertainer Winifred Atwell, who said to him, you can't have a stage name, Terry Parsons, so she actually gave him the name Matt Monro, and that's how we came to know him. He's an absolutely wonderful artist, so I will find you a nice couple of Matt Monro tracks, which I'll have here. And like we say, we're slowly but surely here in Liverpool getting back to some performances in the city centre and venues, which obviously, like I say, we have all the tables set out for social distancing. So, but it's enabling the entertainment business to slowly but surely creep back to life, as it were, which we desperately need. And I hope the same is wherever you may be. I'm not too sure what the laws or the rules are yet in Wales.
Nothing.
Nothing yet, Jem.
No, nothing outdoor, nothing indoor.
Nothing yet.
No.
Well, I hope that changes soon. Obviously, when it's safe to do so, so you can all be back doing what you love to do. It's difficult, isn't it? I didn't realise it was not outdoor either in Wales. No.
No, not at all.
Wow.
Nothing. It's dreadful.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of requests from David Smith. Make the Night.
Yeah.
And good old Matt the Knife.
Yeah, we'll do Mac the Knife, of course. Make the Night.
So he's put Make the Night.
Is it? I'm not too sure. I don't know that one. Is that a swing song or?
I'll Google it for you.
Yeah, please. Thanks, mate. Okay, well, while you're Googling, I'll sing Portrait of My Love. There we go. There will never be a portrait of my love, for nobody can paint a dream. There could never be a portrait of my love, for miracles can never be seen. Anyone who sees her soon forgets the Mona Lisa. It would take, I know, Michelangelo, and he would need the breath of dawn that paints the skies above to try and paint a portrait of my love. It would take, I know, a Michelangelo, and he would need the breath of dawn that paints the skies above to try and paint a portrait of my love. That's a fine song, that song. It really is. Lovely song. We'll have another one by Matt, if you don't mind, because he's one of my favourite artists. I enjoy singing his songs so much. I really do. And then I'm going to find a couple of new ones I haven't done before for you. From a lad up our neck of the woods, Billy Fiore. He's a Liverpool lad, a Scouser, and a great singer as well. But let's have, shall we see if we can find something?
We are having a couple of internet issues.
We are?
We do keep breaking a little bit.
Yeah.
But we seem to be back now.
Okay, great.
So fingers crossed we'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, it could possibly be the weather is absolutely horrendous here.
We've had some really nasty weather.
We're sort of like coming into, it's like almost like a storm. So whether we could have a little bit of glitches on the internet a little bit. I'll move on as quick as possible before they carry on then. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh, I'm going to sing this one. I love this song. Here we go. From Perry Como, folks. It's impossible To ask the sun to leave the sky, it's just impossible. It's impossible to ask a baby not to cry. It's just impossible. Can I hold you closer to me and not feel you running through me? Split the second I don't think of you. It's just impossible. Can the ocean keep from rushing to the shore? It's just impossible. If I had you, could I ever wish for more? It's just impossible. And tomorrow, if you should ask me for the world, somehow I'd get it. I would sell my very soul and not regret it. For to live without your love is just impossible. And the ocean keep from rushing to the shore? It's just impossible. If I had you, would I ever wish for more? It's just impossible. And tomorrow, if you should ask me for the world, somehow I'd get it. I would sell my very soul and not regret it. For to live without your love is just impossible. 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 Here we go. Wonderful, wonderful song. Recorded by Perry Como again, with just beautiful lyrics. Okay, what I'd like to do for you now, I was chatting to the lads before about a concert I have coming up in Liverpool, which should be later on this year, which is a first for me because I've always covered the songs of other artists, which I've enjoyed doing, by the way, but I'm a writer and I've written songs for musicals. The one that we had opening here just before lockdown was called Irish Annies, and I wrote all of the songs for that show, and it was great fun. But so I've always continued writing, and one day I thought, right, I'd like to do a concert in my own right, as it were, or Ace's own, all my own original songs. And the interesting thing is when you write and sing original songs, it's your true voice, because Jem will tell you, as a singer, and Ian as well, that you tend to sort of always, when you sing cover versions, as hard as you may try, your voice naturally goes towards the timbre of the artist that sang the song. That's true of any song, whether it be a musical or a swing song or a pop song. You tend to do that. But when you sing original songs, it's your voice totally. There's no other person to impersonate but yourself. Excuse me, folks. So here's a song that I wrote during the lockdown, which is called Hope on the Rise. And it's basically a sort of a story about the situation we all found ourselves in, very strangely. But in the middle of it all, there was some nice things happening. People were helping each other out. Singers were online doing shows for free to keep the spirits up of everybody. So I sat down and I wrote this song. And also the NHS, the workers who were on the front line, were quite literally risking their lives to save the lives of others, and some sadly lost their own lives. It's the greatest thing you can do, as we know, to give your life for somebody else. This is called, I wrote this song about, right at the beginning of lockdown, really, and just the end of March, and it's called Hope on the Rise. I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Let's see if this comes through all right. I need to take this up a little bit. Test this one out. Here we go. We're living through a time we've never seen before, and how we treat each other tells us even more. We stand together and we clap our hands as one. Out of something bad, maybe some good may come. So look up, open up your eyes. There's hope on the rise. How can we thank you for the love that you have shown? To save the lives of others may well cost your own. And if you've ever lost your faith in humankind, just look at what's been done and know what you will find. So look up and open up your eyes. There's hope on the rise. There are people helping strangers. There are singers singing proud. So many acts of kindness, Lord, it makes me shout out loud. So look up, open up your eyes. There's hope on the rise. So look up, open up your eyes. There's hope on the rise. There's hope on the rise. Oh, there's hope on the rise. There's hope on the rise. There we go, folks. Hope on the Rise. Like I say, you can actually buy that if you want to buy that. That's available on Amazon at the moment and iTunes as well. Hope on the Rise. And we donated the proceeds for that song to Clare House here in Liverpool. It's a wonderful establishment. Anyway, like I say, that's an original. I'm going to do you one more now, which is on my first ever album called Your Old LPs. And for my wife's ringing me here. She wants me to pick it up, and I'm in the middle of a gig, so I'm just going to say, still working. You're going to kill me now.
They all love that. Suzanne Nixon, beautiful song. Debbie Cayley, beautiful song. David Smith, beautiful song. Perry Cooper's clapping. Alan Godfrey's clapping. I love it.
Thanks, Jim. Thank you very much. Yeah, I enjoy singing that song, actually, because the lyrics are quite apt. at the moment. But here's one that's a bit more fun. This is a song I wrote when I bought a ukulele. As I'm always interested in learning other instruments, so I bought a uke, and I started learning it. And I sat down one day and I wrote this song, and it was all about when I was 17 years of age, and I thought I'd fallen in love with this girl I'd met in Wrexham. But it wasn't. It was just, as we all know, that infatuation thing. But I had a job at the time. I was working on a building site at like the T-Boy. And because I wasn't concentrating on what I was doing, I was basically getting a height of abuse and things thrown at me because I was floating around. And so I wrote this song about that feeling. It's called The King of Love. It's about those first sort of feelings when you're in love and nothing else matters in the world. And like I say, you'll hear it. We recorded this here in Liverpool, and we put the ukulele on the start of the song, and then you hear the big band come in with the trombone, and it's a good fun song. It's called, like I say, it's called The King of Love. Here we go. There's the uke. When I was 17, I was foolish, young and keen. But then you looked at me that way, and 1,000 stars came out to play. Oh, you should have heard the bluebirds sing. I became the king, the king of love. Ooh. When you walk around in space, a silly smile upon your face. No one seems to understand. All they did was hold your hand. Oh, but you should have heard those bluebirds sing. And I became the king, the king of love. Now cast your mind back, for it's true. We've all been there too. Cast your mind back, for it's true. You were once there too. Oh, and you should have heard those bluebirds sing. The king of love. Oh, you should have those bluebirds sing. The king of love. When you fall in love, you hear those bluebirds sing. Your heart goes flip, flip, flop, and you forget everything. You're the king of love. The king of love, the king of love. Oh yeah, you should have those bluebirds sing. I was the king of love. There we go. So nice for me to play you a couple of my own songs. They're originals, them. Hope on the Rise, and a song I wrote a few years ago now, The King of Love. So I hope you enjoy them. And like I said to Jem and the boys before, in Liverpool, I'll be doing a full concert, which will just be all my own material. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to do a song by a lad from Liverpool called Billy Fiore. I'm going to find the words because these are new songs. I like to do something a little bit different when I come on. And this will be, I will try and find this now for you. Now, Billy was very well loved here in Liverpool. He really was. He was a great artist. But again, he was only a young man, really, when he passed away. So we're going to have a go at this one. That's right. Okay. Right. I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to be glancing at the lyrics because I want to do something a little bit different you mightn't have heard before. And then I'm going to do our request for Mac the Knife. That won't be a problem. Mrs. Murphy, by the way, is out on a girls' night out in Liverpool, and I did offer to pick her up later on. It's probably lashing down with rain.
Using trouble.
Oh yeah, the thing called a taxi. So there we go. Anyway, right. So I'm going to do this Billy Fiore number now, and I'll just enjoy this singing and forget about the trouble I'm in. Right, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Last night a million stars shone down on me. Soft breezes kissed my cheeks so tenderly. One magic night when dreams come true. Last night was made for love, but where were you? And though the whispering breeze had cast its spell, it seemed the earth stood still, too late to tell. No cloud could hide the moon from view. Last night was made for love, but where were you? Were you watching that same old moon in some other fella's arms? Was he hypnotized with all your many charms? I know there'll never be another time, another magic night to make you mine. It's gone forever, sad but true. Last night was made for love, but where were you? It's gone forever, sad but true. Last night was made for love, but where were you? But where were you? There you go, from a lad from my neck of the woods, the wonderful Billy Fiore. Now let me see if I've got anything else by Billy. Hope you enjoyed that. Really enjoy singing. So he had some great songs, Billy Fiore. He really did. Let's have a look what else we've got here. Yes, nice to do a few of Billy's numbers. Here we go. Let's have a look. Right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to find this one for you, right? Because this is one of my favourite Charles Aznavour songs of all time, okay? And Charles Aznavour is a wonderful French writer, so I'll find Mac the Knife because we've had that requested, so I'm best doing that one. Let me get that for you. I will find Mac the Knife for you. Here we go, and I think we're on this one with that Mac the Knife. Wrong one again. Where's Ken when you need him? Here it is. Right, okay. And this was a request that Jem mentioned before. Yes, there we go. Okay, here we go. Again, I've sung this song once or twice. Might know it by now. Oh, the shark, babe, has such teeth, dear, and he shows them pearly white. Just a jackknife as old Mac here, baby. Oh, but he keeps it out of sight. You know when that shark bites with his teeth, babe, scarlet billows start to spread. Fancy gloves though with old Mac here, baby, so there's never ever a trace of red. Now let that band swing on the sidewalk. Sunny morning night, there lies a body just oozing life, and someone sneaking around the corner. Tell me, could that someone be our boy Mac tonight? Yeah, now there's a tugboat oh, down by the river, don't you know, with a ceiling back just to watch it drooping on down. Well, that's a man you see, it's there for the wait, dear. Oh, 5 will bet you 10, oh, Maggie is back in town. Did you hear about Louis Miller? He done disappear now, after drawing out all his hard cash, and now Mac, he spends just like a sailor. Could it be our boys done Sonny Rash, Louis Armstrong, and Lady Ella, Frankie Blue Eyes, they've all sang this song. Bobby Darin, oh, he really nails it. But that's what I'm, Ace is doing it too. Yeah, I said Jenny Diver, Suki Tori, move it out of Miss Lalilia, step it over on Lucy Brown. You know that life forms on the right, babe. Now that Mackie back in town. Yeah, look out, old Mackie is back. Yeah. Boom, there you go. You probably saw Mrs. Murphy coming in then.
Surprised she didn't throw something at you.
I was waiting for that. She appeared behind me and jumped up my skin.
Have you ever heard the original of that song?
I've heard like the show versions of it. It doesn't resemble that at all, does it?
Oh, well, it's the original because obviously it's in German.
Yeah.
And it's all one key, no key changes. It's just the same all the way
straight through.
It's so boring.
Yeah,
but luckily someone got their hands on it and turned it into that. Thank God.
Yeah, because it's got the constant key change, which Darren did with a lot of songs, actually. You can hear, in fact, I'll do another one if I can remember it, because that long since I did it, but all of his songs seem to go through these, like, key changes. There's another one here, which was a big hit for him. Again, he chose weird subjects. That one was about a serial killer.
I've got to say, Perry Cooper's just put online, I bet you guys forgot your chips.
Well, the funny thing is, right, just when I got in before, I rushed in and I set this all up our little studio here, so we get the quality with what we've all been doing. And then I didn't have time to have anything to eat, so my daughter Poppy said, "Oh, I'll order you something." So she ordered me something before, which has arrived and is downstairs. Well, I know what's happening to that now. You know what I mean?
Well, I've got my in-laws are down.
Yeah.
So Andy's actually gone out for them they've gone out for Chinese tonight, and I've just got a message come through said, "Yours has just arrived. It'll be home soon." Yes.
Well, that's brilliant. Well, I have no idea where we are time-wise. You'll tell me anyway, won't you, mate? Yeah. How long we've got left, so I can have an idea of how many songs you want me to do. But yeah. Well, I think now the food that I had ordered is probably currently being eaten. So which means that after I've finished this, I'm going to have a crisp butty.
I know that feeling.
That's what's going to happen. But anyway, I'll get on with this one. Here's a song again, if I can remember. It's so long since I sang this song. I'll try and give it a go. Here we go. Bobby Darin again. In a cabin way down by a canyon, just excavating 2, 3, 4 miles, there lived a miner from North Carolina and his daughter, lovely Clementine. Now every morning, just about dawning, when the sun began to shine, you know she would rouse up, wake all of them cows up, walk them down to her daddy's mine. She took the footbridge across the water, although she weighed 299. The old bridge trembled, then disassembled, plunged her in to the foamy brine. Yeah, well, a cracker like thunder, you know she went under, blowing bubbles right down the line. Well, I'm no swimmer, but where she's slimmer, I might say that Clementine, she held that ragged way underwater, although I thought she was doing fine. I was not nervous until the service that they held for Clementine. Oh, you sailor, way out in your whaler, with your harpoon, your trusty line. Well, if she shows now, yeah, there she blows now, might just be chunky Clementine, yeah. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling, sweet Clementine. You are gone, but you're never gonna be forgotten. Very well. So long, Clementine. She's a whole lot of woman, yeah. There you go. Now there's another odd one. Clementine crossing the bridge, falling through.
So just like, yeah, we've got about 20 minutes left, Ace, if that's okay.
Okay, pal, yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, let's stick with a bit of more Bobby Darin scene as we're on this, because he recorded great swing songs, but he also recorded fantastic rock and roll numbers as well, including this in 1959. Every night I hope and pray a dream lover comes my way, girl to hold in my arms and feel the magic of her charms, 'cause I want girl to call my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone. Dream lover, where are you? With a love oh so true, and a hand that I can hold, to feel you near as I grow old, because I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone. Someday, I don't know how, I hope she's my plea. Some way, I don't know how, she'll bring her love to me. Dream lover, until then, I'll go to sleep and dream again. That's the only thing to do, till all my lover's dreams come true, because I want a girl to call my own. I want a dream lover so I don't have to dream alone. Please don't make me dream alone. Begging, don't make me dream. That was Bobby Darin, 1959, that was recorded. And that was his Bobby Sox period. And during that same recording session, they recorded a song which Bobby wasn't too keen on, really. He thought it was a bit of an odd one. He'd written it in 15 minutes about a guy having a bath. Yeah. Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Long about a Saturday night. Woo! Rub and dub, just relaxing in the tub. Was thinking everything was alright. So I stepped out the tub and put my feet on the floor. I wrapped my towel around me, then I opened the door. Oh, well, splish splash, I jumped back in the bath. Well, how was I to know there was a party going on? There was a splishing and a splashing. Woo! There was a reeling with the feeling. There was a dancing on the ceiling. Yeah, a splishing and a splashing. Oh, there was a splishing and a splashing, just rocking and a rolling. Splish splash! Bing bang, I saw the whole gang dancing on my living room rug. Flip flopping, they were doing the bop. All the teens at the dancing bug. Well, there was Lollipop, Peggy Sue. Good golly, Miss Molly was eating that too. Well, I splish splash, forgot about the bath. I went and put my dancing shoes on. Yeah, we was a splishing and a splashing. We was a reeling with the feeling. We was a dancing on the ceiling. Yeah, we're just a splishing and a splashing. We're just a splishing, splashing, rocking, rolling. Splish splash. There was a splishing and a splashing, reeling with the feeling. Yeah, that was one of Bobby's first rock and roll hits, Splish Splash, recorded in 1959. Huge hit for him, and it also inspired his first ever television appearance as well. He came on singing that song, and he became an overnight Bobby Sox singer, which he wasn't too happy about, to be honest, because he wanted to be taken seriously in the light of people like Frank Sinatra and Dino. He wanted to be the same, Tony Bennett. So what he did next was he recorded an old Mills Brothers song, which was a very old song, but had a swing feel to it. Up a lazy river by the... There you go. Up a lazy river by the old mill run. Lazy river in the noonday sun. Linger a while in the shade of a tree. Throw away your troubles, dream with me. Up a lazy river where the robin song wakes the morning, we roll along. Maybe gray skies above, but everyone's in love. Up a lazy river, how happy we'll be. Up a lazy river with me. Yeah, up a lazy river by the old mill run. Yeah, baby, that lazy river in the noonday sun. Now you can linger for a while neath the shade of that old tree. Yeah, throw away your troubles, baby. Dream of me. 2, 3, 4. Up that lazy river where the robin song wakes that brand new morning, where we can roll along. There may be gray skies up above, but as long as we're in love, we'll be up the lazy river. How happy we will be. Yeah, up the lazy river with me. Yeah, we go from the halfway mark up that lazy river where that robin song, yeah, baby, just wakes a brand new morning where we can roll along. Yeah, maybe gray skies up above, but as long as we're in love, we'll be up that lazy river. How happy we will be, yeah, baby, up a lazy river. I ain't going your way. Get out of my way. We'll be up a lazy river with me. Yeah. Yes, what a song that is. That's a belter, or a corker as we say in Ireland. That's a great song. Well, I'm going to find you again a different version of a song. It's a song that was written by the wonderful Harold Arlen, who's one of the finest songwriters of his day. But this version of this song, well, I can find it, you may never have heard before, because it was a very rare version, again, excuse me one sec, which was done by the wonderful Matt Monro. But the actual arrangement is very unusual of this song. It's a real big band arrangement of a beautiful song, Harold Arlen, from the movie The Wizard of Oz Over the Rainbow. But a very, very special arrangement of this song. I hope you enjoy this. This is one I enjoy doing with the big band. We have a big band here in Liverpool, and I get to perform with them occasionally, singing some of these wonderful songs. And I particularly enjoy singing this version of this song. Here we go. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dared to dream really do come true. Someday you'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind you, where troubles melt like lemon drops way above those chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Birds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? Someday you'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind you, where troubles melt like lemon drops way above those chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? Now if happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
version before.
Yeah, it's a great version, that, mate. I think you'd do that one. Justice, just stop that. There we go. Yeah, you
I like
should.
I do the Josh Groban version.
Yeah, that's a nice version.
Really nice version.
Yeah, I like it. To be honest, I like a lot of his arrangements. There's another song he does, which is he does a lot of musicals, doesn't he?
Yeah.
From the music he does, and whoever does his arrangements, some of the arrangements are. There's a great song called "To Where You Are" he does, which is lovely. There's several others. That's the one.
Great version.
That's it.
Version. Yeah.
Because I've got Sammy Davis singing that. But it's such the words are just wonderful. What show's that
Great
from
song.
again?
Chorus line.
Chorus line. And isn't it about a guy who's injured himself and basically has to give it up, and he's singing about his passion for what he did?
No, it's obviously a chorus line is about the audition process for a chorus.
Yeah.
For a new Broadway musical, and they've got this one girl comes to audition that actually used to be a big star.
Right. Yeah.
And basically, the director's saying to her, it's only chorus. You're bigger than this.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, this is what I do. And she sings this song about, because they used to have a relationship as well.
Right.
So she sings the songs about what I did for love was part of not just love as in love, but love for what she did as a dancer. She was primarily a dancer.
Right. Yeah. It's a wonderful song, and like I say, the lyrics are just beautiful for it. I've got Johnny Mathis singing it as well. Johnny Mathis does a beautiful version of that song, but I have Josh Groban's is outstanding. Right, brilliant. Okay. Well, have we got time? Let me have a look. What have we got time for? A couple
time
more.
For one more, I think.
Oh, lovely. Okay, that's nice. Well, let's have a little look what we could finish on then. Something a little bit different, I think, than we normally do. We normally do our amores and all that. Let's do something nice and chilled on this Saturday night. Let me find something to finish. Now, I mentioned this one before because this is the one that Michael Bublé sang in front of the president or prime minister of Quebec, and David Foster, which basically got him the career he has now, and it's a wonderful song called "A Summer Wind." So I will do this, and then I will bid you all adieu. Here we go.
Joining us once again on CBTV.
Thank you very much. I've thoroughly enjoyed it as always, and I will catch up with you all soon, and I hope you're all back to normal. I hope you get some good news in the forthcoming so you can get back to what you're doing. Here we go, The Summer Wind. Summer wind came blowing in from across the sea, lingered there to touch your hair, walk with me. All summer long we sang those songs, then we strolled that golden sand. Two sweethearts and the summer wind, like painted kites, those days and nights, they went flying by. The world was new beneath the blue umbrella sky. Then softer than a piper man, one day it called to you. I lost you to the summer wind. The autumn wind and that winter wind, they have come and they've gone. Still those days, those lonely days, they go on and on. And guess who sighs his lullabies through nights that never end. My fickle friend, the summer wind, that lovely summer wind, that summer wind, that lovely summer wind. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Jem. Thank everybody at CBTV, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure as always.
Gentlemen, absolutely brilliant as always.
Sorry.
At home, please put your hands together for the brilliant Mr. Asa Murphy.
Thank you, everybody, and thanks everyone for tuning in, and everyone at CBTV. And Jem, you enjoy your Chinese, and I will go and see if anything is left for me to eat.
I doubt it.
No, I've got that feeling, pal. Have enjoy the rest of your night, everyone.
A Walker's sandwich.
That's it, mate. Yes, very true. Thank you.
Well, that's it from us here at CBTV this evening. Thanks for joining in once again. We'll be here next Saturday again. Fingers crossed next week it's going to be a double whammy. We're going to have myself and our Beth McCann together in the studio for the first time, which will be brilliant. So fingers crossed that's going to come off next week. But keep your eyes peeled. I'd like to say good night, God bless, and we'll see you all next week. Good night.